bring in renowned sports analyst in Ghana, Jeff Asari. He joins us via phone. Good morning to you, Jeff. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Good morning very, very much, and good morning to your choice listener.
So, George, Adu and myself are going to be engaging you on this. Can you tell, is the GFA dissolved or not?
Well, from where I sit now, first of all, it's surprising that government will say the GFA, they have dissolved the GFA. There are processes. I mean, there is FA that is registered at the Registrar General. So the government does not have the powers to dissolve, even though they are major stakeholders, they don't have the powers to dissolve the FA. They can go through the process at the Registrar General before they can do that, but they don't have the power to dissolve the FA.
Can you trace?
And if you look at the tenets of the release by the Minister of Information, you could realize that it says steps are being taken, which contradict what the position of the Minister of Sport. It is very important in all these matters that, yes, government, which is a major stakeholder, have a major contribution when it comes to matters relating to bribery, corruption that has been involved by members of the FA through the announced expose. But in doing that, government must also know where its limits are in terms of this trying moment. You must involve some of the football people. It is very, very key. At the end of the day, they are the ones that own clubs. They are the ones that pay players. They are the ones that run the club. So if government want to clean the system, which is very good, you do it in collaboration with the members of the Football Association, not those who have been fingered. That one, I think that by now the president should resign. I know the Executive Committee are having an emergency meeting. The president should tender his resignation. All members that have been fingered in an access expose should not be part of the Executive Committee again. And then a neutral interim body should be put in place so that they can present it to government, and then they look at the way forward together with government.
You give us a hint of a meeting. Where is it happening? The GFA?
Well, it's up in Accra.
Yes, Accra.
The location of the meeting, I can't discuss, but it's happening. There's an emergency meeting of the Executive Committee members that are taking place today. Based on the development and the directives that have come yesterday, there's a need for the Executive Committee to meet, because don't forget that, look, the decision must be taken. They are the ones running football. The way forward, based on what government has said, it is very crucial moving forward. The FA must be seen to be acting, taking certain steps to try to remedy the damage that has been caused, the image and integrity of the association. So yes, they are meeting today, and I know that some of the decisions will be asking the president to resign, so that at least the proper process can take place. Interim team will be put in place to see to running of the activity as we speak now. George was raising a very critical point. Look, as we speak now, clubs have invested so much in buying players. Club has invested so much in playing matches, Division 1, Premier League matches, Division 2, Coast League matches. And the Premier League has come to an end. The outstanding matches, the Ghana Stars have some outstanding to play. If this thing drags for long, there are players who have contracted with their clubs. The clubs have purchased them so that they will be able to benefit from their play and use the league as a platform to add value to them. They appreciate the value so that they can be able to sell them outside. Such players, if this thing drags for 3, 4, 5 months, the contracts are running, the clubs are not going to benefit. The players will become rusty. And it's not good for the development of the game. Already we are having serious technical challenge in terms of development of our players. So this thing must be done ASAP together with government so that we can find a lasting solution and have a roadmap. Because when the roadmap is not there, that is where the FIFA hammer will come. When it comes to corruption, FIFA will not say anything about it. It's when government is doing a political interference in affairs of the FIFA. But corruption, FIFA appreciate that, but there should be a roadmap. Nigeria has gone through that. Aminu Magari, government did the same thing, but at the end of the day, they have to elect Aminu Magari. Amaju Pinnick is going to the same thing. Earlier on, 2014, he suffered that. Government came in, he went and sat home, but FIFA asked that there should be an election. No matter what happens, FIFA have to ask for an election because government does not have statute to run the association football. It's FIFA. You run it because you are affiliated to FIFA and CAF. And so if we don't do this ASAP, we have a club that is representing us in the Confederation Cup called the Ghana Stars. If we don't do this ASAP, this is going to affect their participation after the World Cup. They are playing AS Vita Club in Ghana. So there's a lot at stake that we need ASAP. The association must show remorse, must quickly make sure that they meet government to the minister and find a lasting solution.
Jeff and George, you said the association must show remorse. They issued a statement yesterday. What was that?
Show remorse. You know,
that was not remorse. That was not remorse. I thought it was a bad taste. It was a bad taste.
Yeah, Jeff, I have a question for Jeff. You know, and Jeff, let's look at this because I know the clubs want to make money. They have to the players on contracts, but they can only make money if people will watch the games. Now, those who watch the games say that they are not even happy or satisfied if Kwesi Nyantakyi and only the executive committee go. They virtually feel that they do not have confidence again in the whole setup. That's why Ghanaians have embraced this dissolve idea, and everybody is excited about it. Yes, I know on the political side, it will seem like government will also be gaining some political marks on that. But critical question, how will GALCA take this? Because the Ghana Leagues Club Associations, they have power. They have the power. They can call for Congress. But how do they, or how would they view this, knowing that Ghanaians do not want to accept anything less than a whole pull down of the system?
In as much as I agree, I mean, with the uproar and the grievance and the wrath of Ghanaians after watching the expose, it is also very important for us to be very careful in the steps we take, so that we don't do things that would damage the sport that we love so much in a long time to come. So, you see, when you become emotionally charged, it is important that you allow common sense to prevail in the decision and the steps and the direction that you take going forward. If you become too sentimental and emotional, trust me, you might take decisions that will not help. Look, yes, they have every right to do that, but look, why? When Mary Lynch descended on FIFA, why don't we have some members of the old FIFA administration still be members?
Still in power, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying that the people that have been fingered should go out. But there are people that are also very good people that are, look, Lawyer Iya, for instance, he was tempted several times. Did he take the bribe? No. So in as much as there is a need for that, look, our football has suffered a big collateral damage. It's going to take us years to get there. But in doing that, we should not make sure that we destroy everything. No, people who are in football, at the end of the day, you can't change the owners of the club. The GALCA is made up of the club owners.
Yeah.
They run the FA. They can determine what happens and what should not happen. So in as much as I agree, it is going to take all the effort of the major stakeholders, including the media, in making sure that we actually repose confidence back, depending on the remorse and also the decisions that the FA will take in consultation with government going forward. If the people we put out there are people who have very good reputation and have integrity, and also decisions and steps that are taken shows clearly that, look, we can trust their decisions and this is the way forward for us. I think with time, look, we are going to suffer initially, but with time, people are going to come on board. You remember Ali El Masri?
Yeah.
When the 72 people died. It affected attendance in the Egyptian league. But look, when we watched Zamalek Ali again just some months ago, it was massive.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that certain things, when it does happen, it's going to take time. All the people need is confidence in the institution, as well as the people and the staff on who is running the institution, because when they trust the one that is running the institution and they also see steps that are being taken, that reposes confidence in the process, definitely. I believe that it took, but look, let's face it, it's going to take us a long time to convince people to come back to the stadium. As we speak now, even referees. Now, the major problem that we are going to face over a long period of time, even if a referee even makes a genuine mistake,
they'll beat him up.
People are going to read meanings. It might be lynched. So it has also security implications. Even if the second round of the league resumes and we are appointing referees to go and officiate matches from division coast level to the Premier Division, it means that additional security should be made available because, look, the fans will not take anything. If they are playing home and referee take a decision against them, a penalty is awarded against them, which is a genuine penalty, the conclusion will be that the referee has taken back. It has major implications for the development and growth of our game from here and where we are going to end, which we don't know yet, based on the process that have not kickstarted.
So, guys, George and Jeff, if GFA has been dissolved, why is there a high-level meeting? And is Kwesi Nyantakyi part of this meeting?
Oh, definitely. He has to be part of the meeting. I mean, he has to be part of the meeting because don't forget that he's the president of the association. And then, as you speak now...
hang on. The sports minister refers to him as former president of the GFA.
I think we can hold on with the sports minister. I feel we can hold on.
I think that because we want to respect the former sports minister. Slightly. First of all, I'm saying that the government has not the power to dissolve the FA.
At least.
There are processes. And that is why, if you look at the information minister's release, it couches so well that government is taking steps. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because government itself, the president is one of the most renowned, lawyers we have. Look at this country as well. So they couch it so well. Do you understand me?
So here's my confusion.
Taking steps is not the same as dissolving.
Here's my confusion. The president has had the benefit to watch this way ahead of all of us. Yeah. He and his team must have sat down to decide on what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we're thinking this was something that was just thought about,
No, yeah.
So why is there confusion? Why is Sports Minister not speaking, Mustafa Hamid did in that statement that he issued? I mean, why are we not speaking with one voice?
Well, I think it looks like one is a means to an end and one is already at the end. It looks like Sports Minister has already gone to the end when the process is being run through. Because there are critical things like they have to go to legally, and so I can say for a fact the government's decision is to go this way in dissolving it.
Okay, Jeff, I am not a sports presenter. I don't know
it more.
I don't know it more than the two of you do.
Yeah.
But if there's something related to sports, this is specific football, and I get a press statement issued by the information minister, and I hear the sports minister speak. I will listen more to the sports minister who is directly involved in this.
Well, the history
issue
of the sports minister is also important. I mean, nothing. Well, I've had issues with the sports minister, especially when it comes to information, and he's very quick to give timelines, and we've had issues with his timelines. I don't want to go back. I could take you back to the Sports Stadium.
I thought that the sports minister
we've had issues already on that point.
Because you see, what is coming from the information minister is coming from government or the presidency direct. And so it is important as a sports minister you abreast yourself with that and make sure that you follow that line. It's got this governance because see this jumping the gun is not helping anybody. It's creating contradiction that will affect your own government in terms of communication or PR. So I'm saying that look, as a sports minister, you also need to even appreciate yourself with the statutes of the FA before you come out and make a statement. And I'm saying that the government itself was very careful, knowing that there's a legal process that the government must go to, even if they want to do that. Yeah. So as a sports minister, all you needed to do was do a background check, and you can easily be given that information. You don't jump the gun. He is not a former FA president. He is not. Because as we speak now, the FA has not been dissolved by government. It's in the process of being dissolved. They are two different things.
Yeah.
Will the government succeed in doing so?
You can.
For me, to be frank with you, I don't think that the approach of government going registrar general is going to help. Because look, if you finish doing all that, whose statute are you going to use? Is it FIFA statute? CAF statute? Do government have its own statute? Are you going to run the game or play the game here alone? Is the Black Star not going to play CAF competitions again? Is our club not going to participate in club competition again? Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, in 2005, we realized that, look, we have to make sure that our statute conforms with that of FIFA. And that is why we've fallen under the umbrella, and now everything we do, our statutes, our regulations, all of them conforms with that of FIFA and CAF. And so, are we going back to that? And what will be the implication when it comes to Ghana football going forward with our affiliation to FIFA and CAF? I don't think we should get there. I think that, look, government is a major stakeholder, but they should ensure that the processes are done very well in a very transparent manner. The right people, they help in making sure that, look, we prune the ones who are corrupt, those who have been fingered in the video, and together with the football people, they look at the roadmap that will lead to an election. Interimly, a team must be running. None of the members that should be part of that team should come from the executive committee. There should be neutral people, but there should be football people. That interimly, because some of them have interest in contesting for the election. So none of them should be part. There should be neutral team that will be formed. You can have government people involved. The minister himself can sit back and be supervised. You have people from the FA who are football people who are not members of the executive committee. So that there should be a roadmap. And what FIFA normally likes is when there is a roadmap, let's say in 6 months we want to put a house in order, then we look at when to open nominations so that there will be an election. At the end of the day, there will be an election for somebody to be elected because the football people have to determine who is the best person that will help their football develop. It's very, very key. So no matter what government intends that government does, government should always be mindful of the fact that they need to involve the people who own clubs, who are the major stakeholders. If they decide to fold up, we'll never have football because government does not own a club. So that's why I'm saying that the government should also know where its limits are, and they should do this together. The government have always had a very big role in terms of funding of our national teams, the major stakeholder. So when there is corruption, government have a role to play in making sure that its state agencies that are responsible for that deal with the people that are involved in that. If they find a problem, they go to court, whatever the court decides, yes. Third people should not be back in football. So it's very important that government, together with the FA and the people of the football fraternity, must appreciate the fact that, look, our game has rotten. And there is a need for them to show remorse and take a step back, do an introspective review of their activities and actions, and then accept the fact that, look, there is a need for us to change the ways we do things. And let's appreciate new ways of doing things so that together with government, we can have an excellent football administration moving forward. And we'll take steps to ensure that bribes that are given to referees, we'll pay referees very well. All this thing, look, at appropriate time, we'll be talking about. If you are paying a referee a meager sum of money, and what do you expect? And the money even does not come in time. What do you expect? The referees are human beings. I'm not holding forth for them.
Judge, you want to engage, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm just looking at this as well in this dissolving matter. Now, considering how Ghanaians have accepted the dissolving matter, and I tell you, it has diffused, it's really gone down even to a 5-year-old, and they are jubilating out in the streets that the FA is going to be dissolved. Now the government is under pressure to make this happen. And even complicating matters is the fact that, sports minister is on tape saying the FA president is a former FA president. Now, the government knows this is a big issue. Kwesi Nyantakyi, on his own, brought in the politics when he was speaking. This is where we are coming to now. So it's become a political matter, a bit of sports now. And government might be just under too much pressure than try to make this happen. So, Jeff, I think government will make this happen. Because if they go back on this...
I'm thinking that if this doesn't happen, then what it means is...
There's no way for government
What it means is that an association that gets a lot of funding from governments is untouchable. So, I mean, it just gives credence to what we've heard.
Yeah, now what Jeff was saying was that, so now government is going through the AG's office. They have to go through the AG, obviously. And they have to unlist the Ghana Football Association as a company.
I think
the key question
is how.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
How do you do it? The key question is who registered the Ghana Football Association?
Okay, Jeff, who did?
If it's the Sports Council.
Who did? Because if you speak to previous leaders there, they say, I mean, it was just like the Boxing Association. It was just like any other association that we have in Ghana. But suddenly, it's a limited liability.
No, but you can
it
could be a Sports Council. Yeah. But along the line,
so who did?
A lawyer could also go in and change it, knowing that was a leeway.
Yeah, anybody could have gone to change that. For me, the bigger picture is that, look, it is very important. What you are saying, I agree perfectly. Yeah. Look, that government is under pressure, but I'm saying that is the more reason why government should also be careful. Because look, you're under pressure, you follow the masses, you take a decision, and you need to look at the next 10, 20 years, the consequences of the actions that you take today. If football is destroyed after the next 10 years and it becomes irreparable, trust me, I don't think that is a legacy the government wants to leave.
Okay, all right.
So in as much as I agree, look, the fact that the government has taken this step, the fact that, look, there will be a cleanup to a large extent, is a big plus for government itself. And the fact that government will be involved in the roadmap and ensuring that, look, subsequently, even in terms of setting appointment, if government decide that, look, I want some people of mine to be in there, because we want to ensure that there is transparency. We had a public interest committee, but unfortunately it didn't work. Yeah. And this time around, we want to ensure that a public interest committee, which will have government reps there, ensuring that there's transparency, there's accountability. I believe that with those ones, I don't have a problem. So now the government has its people there, and they can see day to day what is happening. So they can even give government feedback if there are certain developments that are become contrary to what the norm is. Then government proactively would then act swiftly, which in the past has not been the case. So I believe that we should tread cautiously. While government have every right to do this, we should also think about the football, the growth and the development, the state of our football now. It might even be worse than we have now.
All right, Jeff, we'll leave it here. We're grateful for your time. That's Jeff Asare, who is a renowned sports analyst.